Bandana Blake, back, more content for your head top. All right, today we're talking about the biggest federal takedown for bribery of all time. And it happened where? Of course, New York City, NYCHA. If anybody is familiar with NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority, been corrupt. So to most New York Cityans, most New Yorkers, this isn't no major surprise, but they have now taken down over 70 NYCHA employees in the most massive bribery investigation of all time.
Dozens of city employees arrested in a massive bribery investigation. NYCHA workers accused of taking millions of dollars from contractors in exchange for awarding projects. Good evening, I'm Dick Brennan.
And I'm Dana Tyler. The bribery case involves 70 current and former NYCHA employees. All but 4 of them are being held on $50,000 bond tonight.
Prosecutors say it's the largest single-day bribery takedown in the history of the Justice Department. CBS 2's Jennifer Bisram joins us live from the courthouse with more. Jen.
Hi, Dick and Dana. 70 NYCHA employees, both former and current, were arrested and charged with extortion and bribery today. Officials say that they collected over $2 million in bribery money. Now, 66 of the 70 were arraigned.
Yo, they pocketed over $2 million in money. Now, over 70 people. I gotta do the math. Hold on. Because if you do the math, get my calculator out real quick. I don't really think they came up that big. Like, you split up $2 million over 70 people. Like, what people walking away with? Not that much, right? So most of these people probably not even gonna be here to make bail and make bond. Like, this is crazy. All right, $2 million divided by 70. Let's say 75 to be generous. That's like 26 bands each. Yeah, they definitely can't afford no bail the way the Fed's coming right now. $26,000 equally spread amongst them, and most of them ain't even seeing that much. You already know how that goes.
Here at federal court today, and each of them were released on a $50,000 bond, but had to hand over their passports.
That's classic pay to play. And this culture of corruption at NYCHA ends today.
It was a 70-person takedown by the feds. Officials say all NYCHA superintendents and assistant superintendents.
The 70 defendants charged today allegedly used their...
All superintendents wow. They took out the head honchos. This goes high. This is corruption at the highest levels.
Their jobs at NYCHA to line their own pockets.
66 of the 70 were arrested Tuesday morning in several cities, including New York City, New Jersey, Connecticut, and North Carolina, for allegedly accepting cash payments from contractors in exchange for awarding NYCHA contracts. Officials say
North Carolina? Damn. He probably thought he was in the clear. He was all the way in NC. They came knocking at that door like, yo, heard you took some bread. Damn.
They required contractors to either pay up front or after in order to be awarded the contracts, anywhere from $500 to $2,000. Over $2 million in corrupt payments from contractors in total.
The conduct, as alleged, drove up the cost of this kind of work and diverted valuable public funds away from public housing and into the pockets of corrupt NYCHA staff.
Officials say briberies occurred in nearly 100 developments in the 5 boroughs. That's nearly a third of all NYCHA buildings.
It's very sad that that's happening, though, in the city. We can't have honest people working for us.
At a news conference Tuesday, the city's Department of Investigation laid out recommendations for NYCHA.
They focus on reform of the micro-purchase process to protect it from abuse while maintaining efficient service for NYCHA residents.
NYCHA also released a statement that reads in part, "These actions are counter to everything we stand for as public servants and will not be tolerated in any form." We're told the first investigation started back in 2013, and now 50 current and 20 former NYCHA employees are facing federal charges.
As investigators uncovered more evidence and information about the investigation, one subject led to another subject.
And officials say all the repair work and construction that was supposed to be done at those NYCHA buildings were actually completed. But officials believe that more illegal activity may be going on at NYCHA buildings, and they're asking New Yorkers, if you know anything, report it right away. We're live in Lower Manhattan tonight. Jennifer Bisram, CBS.
Oh yeah, there's way more corruption than that going on. I personally know, I ain't snitching on nobody, but I personally know people who work at NYCHA who done put me on to some of the other scams they got going on. And let's just say, it'll be interesting to see if they continue to do what they do after this. They picked up over 70 motherfuckers, bro. You want to play around? You want to play around? All right. So, let's take a little deeper look at it. The U.S. Attorney's Office dropped the indictment where they gave a little bit of information on what these guys were doing. So, let's start here. NYCHA is the largest public housing authority in the country, providing housing to 1 in 17 New Yorkers at 335 developments across the city and receiving over $1.5 billion in federal funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development every year. When repairs or construction work require the use of outside contractors, services must typically be purchased via a bidding process. And that's where a lot of this happens, right? Because people were circumventing the bidding process. However, at all times relevant to complaints, when the value of a contract was under a certain threshold up to 10 bands, 10,000, 10K, designated staff at NYCHA developments could hire a contractor of their choosing. That's where it was going wrong. Now you put in Uncle Eddie in the building, like, yo, some little something, little tiling job, you know what I mean? So without soliciting multiple bids. So yeah, you got your peoples that you're trying to put on, but those people's also supposed to enter a bidding process. This no bid process was faster than the general NYCHA procurement process, and selection of the contractor required approval of only the designated staff at the development where the work was to be performed. So now they like, look, this is how it happened, because it was only a select amount of people who needed to circumvent the situation to make it work. So of course it was like a little mini RICO type of situation. Hey bro, look, I got somebody who could get the work done, and this is how we're gonna do it. The defendants, all of whom were NYCHA employees during the time of the relevant conduct, demanded and received cash in exchange for NYCHA contracts by either requiring contractors to pay up front in order to be awarded the contracts, or requiring payment after the contract finished the work and needed a NYCHA employee to sign off on the completed job so the contractor could receive payment from NYCHA. Ooh, they had their game tight. Oh, you don't want to pay up front? All right. oh, now it's time to collect your bread. You got the kickback money? This is some Soprano shit. You got the kickback, bro? Oh, no, I'm not signing off. This ain't done. You ain't getting paid. Break me off. Break me off. All right. So, it continues on. As alleged, the defendants typically demanded approximately 10% to 20% of the contract. Mind you, it's like a $10,000 contract, right? So 10% is what? $1,000 to $2,000 of that. Okay. Value between $500, sometimes little cheap ones, and 2 bands, depending on the size of the contract, right? Because they said it goes up to 10,000. But some defendants demanded even higher amounts. Those were the ones who got y'all caught up. Because the contractors probably was like, man, it's a dirty game. It is what it is. Roll on. But the ones who was like, nigga, give me 3,000. You're like, what? Give me 3,500. Somebody else gonna push it. In total, these defendants demanded over $2 million in corrupt payments from contractors in exchange for awarding over $13 million worth of no bid contracts. Now, this map below, for those who are not familiar, this is New York City. This is like Queens area. We don't have that many projects in Queens. I'm from Queens, by the way. We don't have that many projects in Queens. You see, it's a couple little joints over here. They was doing their thing, right? Couple spots in Queens. Now, Over here is Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn, they got, this is like Flushing. There's a couple projects down there, but where they was getting busy mostly, it looks like Lower Manhattan, right? The projects all in Lower Manhattan. If you drive down to FDR, and then Upper Manhattan, Harlem area, and then the Bronx. Oh, you better believe they was getting busy in the Bronx, but they was really getting busy. It looked like a lot in Upper Manhattan, around Harlem. That's probably where they were mainly located. A couple spots in Far Rockaway down here. But man, over $2 million in payments spread over 70 something people. Most of these people probably not even gonna be able to afford to get bail. Damn. But on the bright side, if you live in New York City and you're looking for a job, I can pretty much assure you NYCHA's hiring. They're just gonna be a little bit tight right now, making sure that everybody stick to the rules, but apply and you might get the job. Just don't be corrupt. It's your boy Bandana Blake, man. Food for thought. Y'all do the dishes. What y'all think, man? This is just the tip of the iceberg, because trust and believe it's more corruption than that in NYCHA. I wonder who folded on them, actually. One of the contractors. I can't wait to see which contractor. One of these contractors, they got pushed too far. They got pushed too far, or they got somebody, or they took a contract from them and gave it to somebody else because they wasn't willing to pay enough. I promise you. Bandana Food for thought. I'm going. Y'all do the dishes.